Good evening, YouTube. We are playing some Diablo 2 this evening. Maybe turn this down a little bit. Let me know if the sound quality is good and balanced. It always seems to switch on me. We are putting some work in to get to 99 tonight. I tell you, let me tell you right now. Not in the greatest, most entrepreneurial of moods. So we're hoping that just chill stream. We're just gonna do some grinding. We have some okay terror zones. Hoping that get some heavy lifting off of the chat today as far as quality. We got a 100% reaction from somebody. Thank you for that. I hope that while I'm not having a good mood, I hope that everybody else had a good day and is having a wonderful night. I know that Baldur's Gate 3... What am I doing here? I know that Baldur's Gate 3 came out, the patch 8, today, so probably going to be a slow... Probably everybody's playing that. I took a look at it myself. But 99 won't get to... it. We won't get to 99 playing Baldur's Gate 3, so... We're going to be hitting Dry Hills, I think, at 10. Or the next hour, I guess, if you're not in the same time zone. Getting that sweet, sweet XP. Right now, we're just kind of burning time. I'm not a huge fan of the Ancient Tunnels. What do y'all think? As far as the, if you had to put Ancient Tunnels, Terrorized Zone in a tier list based on not just the location itself, but the tier, the Terrorized version of it. What would y'all put Ancient Tunnels? I've been thinking about that specifically about ratings that I would give each Terror Zone specifically, because I was thinking about kind of putting my thoughts down on that in video form. I'm actually was thinking about streaming that on Saturday. Not all of them, but maybe just Act 1. And there are kind of maybe not guides on every single one, but people's thoughts and things. But most of the time, they're just in general Terrorized Zones in general. And when I say in general, most people think of like softcore or like just the regular type of playing, not considering the fact that if you die, you completely die. So again, I was thinking about doing a stream Saturday that's just like breaking down, what everybody's thoughts are on the Terrorized Zones for hardcore specifically, if anybody has any input on that for different reasons. Been doing some research on it. Learned a couple new things over the past couple days about Terror Zones and XP, things like that. So yeah, Ancient Tunnels isn't too bad. There's not a whole lot of scary monsters. The mages can be annoying, but the regular skeletons, the zombies, the invaders are okay. There's no this is technically like, well, no, this wouldn't be the first area, but I do not believe that there's any Anubis looking dudes to res. Could be wrong though. I'm not positive. How much longer do we have? We got 9 minutes on the Terrorized Zones, so I guess we could run through it a couple times. I am getting some flower reactions about that. Maybe that's super exciting to somebody. I do like the Dry Hills Terrorized Zone better than Ancient Tunnels. Ancient Tunnels, it's not directly connected to a waypoint, so it's kind of irritating to get to, and then there's not a great throughput on the what you do to get the XP and get out. I'm not sure if there is a super unique in Ancient Tunnels or not. I'd have to look it up. Super uniques are the ones that are guaranteed to spawn. It's things like Rakanishu. It's things like I think Cold Crow in the caves of the Cold Plains. I'm not sure if that's the location, but Cold Crow is definitely supposed to spawn in a map near the beginning of Act 1. Corpse Fire in Den of Evil. And again, this is stuff I did some research on. Super uniques give a good bit more than just regular uniques, the random ones that spawn. So, although this map isn't too bad, we could do a run where we get to Ancient Tunnels, run through it, and get to that super chest. Maybe we get like a rune or two to spawn out. Do our Cuban shale. That's a red one. Yeah, unfortunately, we're gonna have to do some maintenance here. I'm almost out of all the chipped gems I need. I don't have any. I don't have any amethysts. I'm almost out of topazes. Almost out of the blue ones, whatever they're called. Yeah, just almost out of everything. Another unfortunate thing for Ancient Tunnels, it doesn't always happen, but the way it's spawned in is it's an annoying distance from the waypoint. So what we have to do is spawn in, and then we have to run all the way over here. And I don't even remember where it is. I think it's over this way. In that corner little home over there. It's right here. Yes. So we'll probably get one more good run out of it. Maybe to get something out of that super chest. And then we'll hit the real work in Dry Hills. Let's see what this large charm is. Ugh. Stone skin zombies. Those are going to take forever to kill. Yeah, probably not going to kill the champion there, or the unique, I mean. Just takes too long. I think they did designate the names of the types of enemies. I always called the different spawns of enemies that are more powerful, I always called them champions. The ones that spawn 2 or 3 that are like fanatical or champion or whatever, I always called those champion, which is what they're referred to in the wiki. And then I called the ones that have a big monster with a bunch of minions, I always referred to those as elites, which they're not. Apparently they're called uniques. And then the guaranteed enemy spawns like Beetle Burst and Lord Sace and Cold Crow and that stuff, those are referred to as super uniques, which I think is kind of confusing because there's uniques and super uniques, but I think they should have called them champions, elites, and uniques. Alright, now Dry Hills is up. We can go do our thing with that. Now, I personally do not like to go into the What's going on here? What is it? The Rocky Tombs or the Halls of the Dead or the dungeon here, because it can spawn in the types of enemies that resurrect undead. They're like Anubis-looking cats or whatever. Honestly, Dry Hills isn't great because it does spawn some annoying, at least for me, they're annoying enemy types. The Saber Cats are okay. Cave Leapers are low-key annoying, if I'm honest. I hate how you have to chase them around the whole map because they jump around and get knocked back and run and all that crap. They're not too bad, but then the freaking Itchies. I don't know if Itchies spawn in this one, but I always get the desert maps confused. But the Itchies are so annoying. And then you get the bugs that lay eggs that hatch into more bugs. Those are super annoying. The death beetles are great. I love death beetles. But between the itchy types, we're gonna do a few runs to see where ideally we want to go off of this. And I may even look up real quick if there's a Lum Rune, nice. I'm going to look up and see if there's a super unique here. Which I don't think there is. I think Beetle Burst spawns in Far Oasis. And I don't know if there's any other super unique. For my research, the best way to go about grinding out XP in Terror Zones is to make a path towards the super unique. Again, that's the guaranteed spawn that's supposed to be in there. Because they're guaranteed, what you can do is take advantage of the RNG. It's supposed to spawn so many uniques, or so many elite packs in a given map, elite and champion packs. So if it's supposed to spawn so many, and you get those, let's say it's supposed to spawn 5 elite or champion packs, and you get those, and then you go to the super unique spawn location, it'll spawn that regardless. So you'll actually get a little bit extra. Let's see. D2R Dry Hills IO. No, there's no super unique. 7 to 9. And I don't want to go in Halls of the Dead. Yeah, Leaper, Vulture Demon, and Slinger. These are actually pretty good. The Leapers are the only ones that are low-key annoying, and that's just because they jump around so much. But in here, the mummies can be annoying. The greater mummies. Oh, the greater mummies are the ones that resurrect. And these force you to kind of go out of position. I don't like a lot of the enemies that will res things, because it forces you to like run around an entire pack and put yourself in a bad position rather than just clearing as you go. But yeah, those alone make me not want to go into Halls of the Dead. But since there's no super unique in Dry Hills, we can kind of just run around until we hit 7 to 9 champion or elites. And wipe them all out and then reset the map. Alright. Didn't mean to spawn that extra wolf. So because this doesn't have a super unique spawning in it, it kind of makes our brain power that's required to run this a little bit more pesky. We actually have to think a little bit. With super uniques, I typically like to just run straight to that super unique, kill anything I see on the way that's a regular unique or a champion, and then when I get to the unique and kill that, or the super unique spawn, I'll kill that and respawn. And that gives me a certain amount of XP. The reason is the super uniques I think are like, I don't know the exact numbers because I've yet to look up every single mob and their champion unique and super unique variants. But just from looking at the Act 1 ones that I was just kind of eyeballing, it seems like the super uniques give at least double the XP that a regular unique would give by itself. Every different monster variant has its own base set of XP, and then with being this high level, getting Terror Zone XP, there's like a whole equation that we have to look up or think about to figure out how much XP we get, but generally it's not very much. It's like a small percentage of the monster's original base XP. Very, very small. Relatively, I mean, it is still like tens of thousands of XP, but that's just kind of a drop in the bucket when we're looking at it. We want to maximize that. So, I think where I was looking, a regular unique that has randomized affixes and all that, and randomized locations that it spawns is somewhere around like, I don't know, let's say it's 20,000. Then the super unique is, oh, Jesus. Whew, that, the fear of God in me. What is he? Yeah, extra strong. Yeah, running into an elite while you're cursed that's extra strong is so much of a death sentence. That was one hit from that dude. Alright. Okay, we got some more minions. Want to be careful here. Got 2 elite packs here. We're just going to keep calling elite packs. Everybody's fine with it. I can't see what it is. Extra strong, but I think we're okay. Kind of also like to use the mercenary as like a canary in the coal mine type situation. Always want him to be like the vanguard and be the one touching most of the enemies, so that if he suddenly just gets obliterated 100 to 0'd, I probably should not be standing next to it. Especially at this point where I know he's to some degree tankier than me. I do have a block chance, but so our defense is 2080, and we have 3,000 hit points. His is 9,326. He's got about the same resistances and a little bit less HP, but generally I'll run him in and get him in front. When you start getting like better gear for him to where he's not so fragile, it becomes super useful. But you should always like use him like that. Is not. I think we're good to save and quit out. Alright, now we can reroll our Grand Charm here. $30 to life. Not great. I think you can get up to 45. Now we need to be counting these. So in the unique packs, or the elite packs as I like to call them, like this, where it just spawns a single unique and then a bunch of minions, that only counts as one of the 7 and 9 that can spawn in this area. However, the champions, they count as each individual one instead of a single pack. So there we got one. Okay, there's another minion pack. Heck, we can even call them minion packs because there's packs of minions with a boss. He's got stone skin, but these things are honestly base health is pretty weak. Like even without my mercenaries, what do you call it? Even without my mercenaries decrepify on it, they're going down pretty fast. I'm just gonna rear get that guy. Nothing. Okay, that was 2. Here's 3. Let's see. Keep our potions stocked up. Here's 4. That was 5. I think those 4 was the scavengers. Yeah. So that's 5. I'm just going to walk out. Yeah, there's 6. And I think I'm going to call it right there. Well, there's 7. So they're definitely going to call it at this point. Got to be careful because we are cursed. We got extra. This one should be fine to deal with. He's just extra fast. He doesn't have any extra damagey abilities besides the curse on me. So we should be good. And then there was one over here. I didn't see what that is. Extra strong, so it can be a little scary. He's dead. Alright, we're going to check out that scythe. Soul Harvest is 19, not that great. I was thinking it might be another Reaper's Toll. But I think that's like the elite version of that. The reason we saved an exit is because we hit 7 out of the 9, possible 9 elite spawns. And there's still like 70% of the map to go. So, you know, we went through like 30% of the map and got 7 in a short amount of time. Now we're going to have to spend a larger amount of time possibly going for those remaining 2. So it's just not worth it. As far as a min-maxing strategy. Alright, let's see if we can skip past these regular spawns. Find the good ones. Okay, what is this? Earth Spirit. Yeah. There's one. All right. There's a second one. There's a third one over here. Okay, here's number 4. I think we got, yeah. And then we got champions, so that's going to be like 5, 6, 7, maybe 8. Looks like 7. Okay, we got a Grand Charm unique. It is going to be something I already have. Cold Rupture, which we already have. And we are going to crash out here. Go back, load in. We hit 7 with, you know, maybe that was like 30% of the map. Don't want to waste time. We want to be efficient. As efficient as we can be, you know, on hardcore. We don't want to make a blunder. But I think using kind of those statistics and how many mob spawns there are supposed to be is definitely something we can do. Okay. Got a Fool Rune, nice. Not really nice because I'll need chip gems to do that. There's one right there. Got us an emerald. More gems. Where are the super minions? Oh, there's a chipped amethyst. Heck yeah. Okay, here we go. 2, 3. Hey, if you're just now joining me, we are playing some Diablo 2 Resurrected. We are grinding, just daggering it up on the dance floor to get to 99. We're currently setting at 95, almost 96. That was, what, 4, 5, 6. Maybe take a look. I think I'm going to reset, I think. Maybe take just a quick look. There's Halls of the Dead. Here we go. Actually hit 8 right there. It's pretty good. Okay. Good to go. Is anybody else in the chat playing their own hardcore characters? Whether you're trying to get to 99 or not, I'd like to share experiences. Any excuse I can to not talk and to have somebody else talk for me, I welcome. Alright, here we go. Fools. Undead. Let's build up our Feral Rage. Get to zooming around the map. Okay, we got some minions here. Stone Skin and Cursed. Teleport is honestly just a free waste of an affix. It is absolutely non-offensively oriented, so it's not going to do any damage to you. Some runes. Feral Rage. There's some minions over there. Spectral Hit and Cold Enchanted. Pretty easy, pretty easy. Keep Feral Rage. I think that was 2. I think we're at 2 now. In my opinion, what sets Terror Zones apart, for one, is the XP. We want to have a good pace getting XP, but for hardcore carriers specifically, you never want to trade your safety. For the most part, Acts 4 and 5, I try to stay away from, just because of the danger level present there with different types of mobs, like the Oblivion Knights. They can decrepify, they can curse you, resistance reduction, on top of the large mob density. That, Act 4 is pretty scary. And I typically try to avoid it, or if I do go to it, I will reduce the player's count, which I don't like to do at all. We got Lightning Enchanted, yeah. So almost the entirety of Act 4 Terror Zones. I think there's 3. Don't like to do those. Act 5, there are some that I will do. In fact, my favorite Terror Zone is there. But the later part of Act 5, a lot of the Terror Zones there, like Nithalthak's Temple, it's okay, but you definitely don't want to be going up against Pendleskin. You definitely don't want to be going up against Nithalthak, or Nilathak, however you want to say it, especially because he can one-shot you easily. Generally stay away from things that can hurt my body. So we're going to cube up. Got our next perfect. Hit the dry hills again. Maybe throw out some dire wolves this time. Right now, our bear doesn't do like great damage, but he has a respectable, I wouldn't say tank, but point of annoyance for enemies. He has like 2,000 health, and does about 300 damage a swing, which is about 10% of what we can do. Not very much at all. But he is another point, contest point. So, like I said, I like to have the mercenary, the vanguard, touch everything. You don't want to be surrounded on all sides by enemies. And that's why I like the bear. Plus, I don't really have a whole lot of things to put my points into this late. I've maxed out, Fury. I've maxed out Werewolf. I've maxed out Lycanthropy, Feral Rage. I've maxed out Heart of the Wolverine. I don't really have a lot of points. I could go into a couple things that are negligibly useful, and the bear is probably just the best one. Alright. Wasn't counting there. Let's grab that. I think that was like 2 or 3. See, even this is a little sketchy to have them surrounded by you to where 2 or 3 of them can hit you at once. because of the way that it would roll, and then you would maybe take a bunch of damage all at once that you weren't expecting. Neither one of those are that great. Let's call that 4. I think, no. Over here. There's 5. And then I think I might just go to this turn right here and don't do anything else. Spectral Hit can be a little scary. It does add different types of elemental damage, which is, I think, randomized. But basically anything that adds damage on top of being cursed is like uber scary and hardcore. It is not fun at all. But luckily our character is kind of super powered to where curse doesn't do too much unless we're again at one of those Act 4, Act 5. I think mostly Act 1, 2 is okay. 3 starts to get sketchy when you start working on Mephisto. Both how much health he has and how fast you can clear him. I typically like to turn the player's countdown on Mephisto as well, or at least run Endurance of Hate. And then Act 4 and 5, it starts to get into one-shottable territory, which is the biggest threat to a hardcore character. Okay. I'll reset right here. Take me a sip of water. Yeah, mostly the playstyle for if you're wanting to get into a hardcore character is just play really, 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 really slowly and grind to where you're out-leveled. You out-level pretty much anything. Until you get to about like hell, basically. When you start getting into hell, your character is at this weird crux where they're, they should, if they're strong enough to clear hell at a reasonable pace, or at least handle it, they've got enough gear and strength to handle a good bit of things. But then when you run into RNG, at that point, uniques and super uniques can spawn with up to 4 affixes, I think. So you get into this weird spot where most of the time you can handle anything until it's like an elite that spawns a specific affix that you don't handle really well. Or like a combination of the monster and the affix, like these cave leapers. Maybe if you're a squishy target with not a lot of summons, they're really dangerous for you because you can't really like maneuver around them. They can kind of just overwhelm you. So you start to run into like a problem with like enemies with like 1 affix. But the biggest problem, if you're paying attention, you can respond to that. But the biggest problem is when you run into either a mob pack that spawns specific affixes together, or multiple like mob packs where they have some kind of affix that spreads throughout all the monsters in the group. So curse you, all the monsters, it's easier for them to hit you. They do more damage all together, so it's kind of exacerbated. And then you run into them together, and all those affixes are combining together, so you can't. There's a very, very high chance of getting things like curse and might auras together with physical damage, and then you get extra strong, and then you get maybe something that reduces the max resistances that you have, and suddenly being able to handle like several hits from a monster before you're running into a pack, and they suddenly do more than 100% of your health all at once, and you just die instantly. And you kind of have to, like, when you get to that point, play not completely different, but there's a very, very large increase in the caution that you have to bring to the table. It's something. Okay, we got a Berserker's Axe. Don't want that. Ew. Okay. I'm going to kill this Cave Leaper pack, and we are going to bouncy. And just to kind of showcase what I've been talking about with experience, we're going to grab, what is it, XP calculator. Is it this one? Yeah, this is it. So we are level 95. We are in Terrorized Zone. I don't know why this is, I don't believe this is, I don't know, this is not correct that the monster level goes up to 99, I don't think. And I'm not sure if the experience multiplier, but it's not going to be off by too much. We have 8, and then we don't have an experience shrine. Now, okay, so a normal Cave Leaper is going to give you base experience 62,836, but you get such a huge penalty loss at level 95, just for being that high level. You only get 1.46 percentage of the experience. And then we calculate all these other multipliers, and the final experience you get from a Cave Leaper that is not elite, not unique, you get 5,122. Okay, but if you go to the minion, you get 4 times that amount. Champions are, 4 or 5 times that amount. The uniques, and then, well, the super uniques is something different. So let's just Beetle Burst. So Beetle Burst can give you 32 if it's just a regular Death Beetle. A unique is 32 also. Wow, didn't know that. And then champions are about half, maybe a little bit less. And then normal is like a sixth of that. I was really surprised that Beetle Burst doesn't give you more, because Eldritch the Rectifier give you 20, and then what is that? Slayers. Huh, it's the same. I thought super uniques. Interesting. Huh. I could have swore I was researching. Make sure to get your Flonase. Don't tell me how to live my life. What would I need Flonase for? It's not going to get me to level 96. That's precious time I could be spending grinding Shadow Knight. Can't get to the next level if your nose is all clogged up. Says who? How do you think I got to the first 94 levels? I ain't got time to breathe through my nose. And I play Diablo too, so I'm a mouth breather. Tell you what, today was a day. How was the stream? I didn't really get to catch. I don't know if I even caught any of it. If you were streaming today, and honestly, this week has been a talky one, so I've had to be pretty much all my attention is on that. So, how's your week been going? Know that it's pretty difficult to find good news lately, but I'm hoping that, as always, video games are there. Finished most of Casterfell, hoping to finish tomorrow, but I don't know my. Is that the Casterfell? Is that a town in Adamfall? I've been playing it. I played it some. Uh, Lowercase. What is that? Played it some earlier today. I'm in. Don't think a soul is left alive in Casterfell. Is that by your choice, or is that just happy collateral? I guess I don't know. I Natalia's Shadow. Ooh, I don't have that one. Like I said, not much nowadays can be considered good news, but Diablo always delivers. 60% of the time, it works every time. Actually, that's a pretty generous percentage of chance. Unalived most of everyone in Casterfell. They could not be trusted. I haven't got that far. We'll have to trade. I wonder how the ending goes with that game. If it's got multiple endings or like changes based on choices you made. Because I looked through most of what is it, Scattendale or Scalbendale or that first area. And then I went to that village or Withville or the town. And I tried to do everything that I could and learn all that I could before I committed to anything. But I ended up kind of siding with the protocol dudes because I guess they weren't the only ones that were blatantly like that I had proof that they were blatantly like bad guys. So I kind of just like fell in with them, if you want to say. Have you? I'm sure you've done that town or whatever. Went through there, right? Been trying. It is very open-ended. There are many ways to start and finish leads. What about like the leads part? Do I want spoilers? Let me set on that for like a few minutes, cause it's fun and I really am surprised. I misjudged that a little bit. Because it definitely does not feel like it at its face value. It like what you were talking about. It's kind of like Fallout, but the frame, the bones of it, like what it is pretty different. Um, like it's almost like a mystery game more than an action shooter type thing. Don't get caught up on finding items and recipes. Yeah, and that in itself, and your limited inventory space, and the thing that there's no money that you get, like there's not an economy in that sense. Um, it feels very different. Like you can't hoard things. Like in Fallout, you can go to a place, loot it, go to the merchant, sell it for caps, stick the caps away, go back to the thing, get everything else and loot it, and go back and sell it. If you run out of caps for one merchant, you just go to the next one. And because there's no economy and no way to like bottomly Dark Clan Crusher. That's a cool druid stick. It's hard to like overpower yourself early, which I like. And I don't like. I mean, if you don't find something on a vendor, it is somewhere out in the world. Yeah. Any something I will take advice from you on is if you do have a stash. Yeah, I've found the stash, but I think I've only found like 2 or 3 pneumatic tubes or whatever. And because you have limited bag space, you can't just pick up every like nail bat, stash it in the pneumatic tube, and then when you find a merchant that has something you want, you can't just take every nickel and dime of a nail bat that you find and run to them and trade it for like a nuclear bomb. You can't carry enough stuff to trade for, something really good. And you will find bunkers in all areas. Cool. Yeah, I was surprised at that. I remember I was watching at one point where you did sort of backtrack and do that to pick up like some guns, and I've done a little bit of that, but it's not excessive to where, like I said, you can't pick up every nickel and dime you find, and suddenly, if you do that, you'll have enough to afford a nuclear bomb, which is good balance, I guess. But it makes it harder for sure. What I was gonna say and ask you about is the skill trees and like what's your like. I'm wondering what to go into. I haven't found many of those training stimulants anyway, so I haven't put too much into it, but none of it seems like super OP. Weapons are plentiful, but I guess that's dependent on game settings. Suspecting the things I want or need at the moment. Yeah, but I haven't found anything that's really like I see it and I'm like, oh man, I gotta save up for that. I gotta work towards that. All of it seems pretty like no one perk. It seems to be like overpowered over any other perk. They're all pretty much like, boop, same amount of power level. Kind of related to how many stimulants you dump into them. I think I got one where your kick stuns them for a bit longer, and then I don't know, something else. Yeah, I'm wondering if there's randomization as far as the drops. Because it does feel like it. Feels like that, especially not overpowered makes things. Yeah, just a little bit. I'm wondering if the drops are randomized, and I'm sure the things like the ammo and maybe the bandages and maybe are randomized. But I'm wondering if like the training stimulants and the manuals and the some of the bigger things, it certainly feels like it's handcrafted. Yeah, I saw that's something that I remember from your stream, and I I don't say purposely got it because you didn't get it because you got it. I kind of just wanted to see other things, and I'm starting to feel like that might be like better. I don't know. The axe throwing or the or melee weapon throwing. I guess you don't have to be an axe, right? What I find myself doing most of the time is just guns. Um, I got really lucky at this. I got a system I use for your weapons. Do tell. Yeah, you can throw all melee. Yeah, I just tend to use guns. That's kind of what I'm leaning to, and it doesn't seem like bad or good. It just kind of middle of the road, I guess. Gets the job done. I did get really lucky with like a huge group of outlaws at one point, and one of them was getting ready to throw a Molotov, and I hit that and dropped it in the middle and killed like 6 dudes at once. And then I had to run away and heal because 6 dudes shooting at you at once burns you down really fast. You are not a powerhouse in that game. The robots that I'm running into with the flamethrowers absolutely decimate me in seconds. Yeah, and usually if I get lit on fire, I'm just dead. Like, there's no stop, drop, and roll or anything. I haven't even found a bow and arrow yet. I found arrows, but no bow. Oh, see, I haven't been to Casterfell Woods. But yeah, so far, and I think just hold off on the reveals and stuff. But so far, like I went into that Withville. Um, you've done. I mean, you've done that, right? I don't want to spoil it for you either. Have you done the like? I guess they would be like side quests. They seem not as priority as like finding the interact or intersect or whatever that main thingy that you're doing is for it. This is like I went into that church and somebody got murdered, and then I found like a lead that was like uh, I don't know. The storekeep is doing something shady, or I don't know, something like that. The quest will send you to each zone no matter where you start. Yeah. I didn't know if you had to go, like if you have to go everywhere or you can just go straight to the. But yeah, it just seemed like so the protocol soldiers are just like declaring martial law and trying to like keep the peace, and they haven't done anything overtly, or at least the ones there haven't, to my knowledge. But like the storekeeper had that one girl murdered because she knew that he was with the druids or something, and that one lady is keeping her husband, and he's like infected, which is like a huge security risk for the whole town. I'm assuming. I don't know the implications of being infected, but it seems just your basic zombie shit. So, like, and then if you like discover him, she just immediately goes hostile, and he goes hostile. You just have to kill them both. So I loaded, and I basically told on everyone in the village because they all like were murdering people or like threatening people, intentionally or non-intentionally. Who knows if I made the right have their motives? Yeah, are they all like shades of gray, or is there a de facto like good guy and bad guy? How much would you say you're like through it, like as far as getting to the end? Yeah. And is the phone the voices? I'm guessing the phone is the voices that everybody talks about hearing. They are a voice, but the druids hear another voice. I discovered that when I went to the woods. So the voices aren't hallucinations or unreal. Still don't know who the phone. I'm guessing you figured out who or what that Oberon is that you were looking the last time I was able to get a good set in, or if they are connected. Well, they have to be connected. They're telling you all this like really connected stuff. Like they're basically know what you're doing at all times, and its relevance. It's not just like it's not just a random voice that's like, man, the sale at the Walmart in South Key, Florida is really good this time of year. Like, it's like, do this, watch out for this town is dangerous, kill this dude or whatever. And you do the interchange. I'm, it, I don't know how invested I want to be in it. But I do think it's, the low amount that I've played, it's pretty good. It's surprisingly like good. It's just what it is. And I'm wondering if I want to like just go ahead and watch and see what's going on, or I want to like play it out myself. But I guess I don't really have a choice as far as tomorrow because it's another pretty busy day, and I won't be able to catch the stream until probably the end of it. I'm working with that promise to get me out. So you went with the protocol people as well? Any particular reason that you went with them? Was it purely pragmatic that they were the only ones that said that they could get you out? Uh, it does take a little bit to get into. I wouldn't say like if you're a fan of those other games you mentioned, like Fallout, or even I think I said to Emily, Kingdom Come, like a futuristic Kingdom Come. If you like those games, like you can tell kind of you're working for you. Like to get out, like that was the whole reason that you were working with the protocol, is they offered you something that you needed. have 3 people to get, and 1 has fallen through. So they let you down. I'm assuming that your character is somehow personally involved in what's going on. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if your character was, like, the cause of it. Like, directly. One led me on and is hoping I get them out. Yeah, I mean, I do not anticipate that the game itself will be something that I come back to after I give it the good, play. Unless the story is just kind of wild, and but I really don't see that happening based on the setup and the presentation, the voice acting and stuff. It's just sufficient. And so the biggest thing is like the exploration of it, just like figuring out the mystery and exploring the world. And then once I know everything behind the curtain, it's just gonna be something that I don't really come back to. It just one and done. It's an experience rather than a one of these games like that you play for the love of the game. I unalived everyone in Casterfell because I know the truth about them, and because it is easier to move around the map other than sinking. See, I can see a way to quick play it. I'm doing the long by exploring everything. Yeah, I definitely am getting my enjoyment out of just like looking around everywhere, finding every little like lunchbox and comic book and note, and taking my time with it. It pleases me to hear that. Oh no, at Casterfell. Oh wait, Casterfell Woods with the Druid. Yeah, it pleases me to hear that because my initial impression was I don't like these Druids just from hearing about them, and like it just that was my first impression. So yeah, that's my thoughts so far. I don't think there's anything wrong with a game being a experience at once and then the entertainment value goes down. Some things are just that type of experience where it's not something that you can repeat for relatively the same like entertainment value or enjoyment. Some things just are an experience. One. Both types of kind of experience are valid. Yeah, I'm just playing it for like a little bit of something different, and it is enjoyable for what it is. Sewers. We're going to the sewers. Yeah, free for me. I definitely okay. So I don't think I've looked up the how much it is. Hold on. Like how much it is to just flat out buy that. It's 60. I do not think it's a $60 game. What is your opinion on that? And I guess for everyone else, can chime in. I don't think, even knowing what I know now, like just playing, if I was able to play it an hour, I would not say that it's grabbed me enough to pay $60 for it, unfortunately. This is not a great situation, Shadow. We've got these stupid archers. We're cursed. I might just save and exit here. I don't... Well... He's not dying. Where is he? Okay. Yeah, we might just save and exit that. That's not a good position to be in. Yeah, it was free for me too, so it did... You're right, it didn't hurt. Yeah, it's... I mean, it's not outside your wheelhouse to the point that you didn't play it. It's just... I saw it on Game Pass. I was like, oh, that kind of looks interesting, but not my cup of tea. I'm going to pass on that one. And then I saw you play a little bit of it, and my impression of it was wrong enough that it was like, okay, I might give this a shot. It's free. It's just going to take me a couple minutes to download, and yeah, it's fun. Good game. I don't think it's worth 60. I started killing everyone when I got bored to keep it fun. Just like named NPCs as well. Does that like... I guess that these damn archer dudes are really spawning inconveniently for me to get some work done around here. Actually, I'm not a huge fan of the loot going sewers either, because of those archers. I may just run some Countess to see if I can get me a low rune. Or heck, I may just actually work on getting some chipped gems, actually. Slatendale, Skethermore have been cleansed. Other than the respawning enemies or people needed for quests. How do you know? Like, are you killing the named NPCs? Do you know if they're relevant anymore, or what's your... How many skeletons can I raise on this dude right now? Nice. Chipped amethyst. We're in business. Got a chipped ruby. Nice. If you're just joining me, we are playing some Diablo 2 Resurrected. Right now, we're just kind of in between some moves that we're making. There's not a good terror zone. I'm trying to get to 99, so really I'm wanting XP. But there's not a really good terror zone, and right now I want... The next thing I would go for is runes, but I don't have enough chip gems to start socketing up, so I'm kind of taking a break to grind out some low-level zones for chip gems. Most of the names people are still alive. A few named people killed other named people, but there are some areas where the NPCs stay dead or take a long time. They respawn. The NPCs respawn, Like the named NPCs? I'm forward. After we get all our chip gems that we need to refill our stocks there, the regular unnamed NPCs and named ones stay dead. Well, that's interesting, I guess, but where them chip gems at? All the robots I've destroyed have stayed dead. Interesting that those stay dead. What do you do with the batteries, actually, now that I'm saying that? Because it seems like, atomic batteries itself is like a lead where you can find different ones, to the point where I have no idea why my character will be that interested in, like, batteries, besides the fact that maybe later I'll learn that they're very useful for something, and so there's some kind of dissonance there. I threw them in my stash. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. As I think I have one or two, but like, what are they for? Like, why is my character aware that they're useful in the interchange? Okay, well, that's cool, I guess. Wait, is this a gem? No. Once I figured out you could take the batteries from the robots, batteries, but all the leads help you find the ones scattered around the game that you can get by talking to people. But like, do you really need to do that? Or I mean, do we have a? Yeah, we do have a goal. Okay, we got chipped. Another chipped diamond, nice. So you've been playing it for a good chunk of time there. What's your position with it at this point? Like, I don't know if you do like a X out of 10 or something like that, but what do you think of it? Got four. Okay, so I need another red one right there. Okay, cool. Seems like a one and done for me. Yeah, but I also don't think that indicates its quality. Because some games are just an experience like that. You play it once and you're done, and you really can't like the Telltale games. Yeah, one could argue about the replayability, but it's an experience. You play it to experience it. So like value. If you were trying to indicate to someone else how much they would like it, like X out of 10, it's a solid game. However your rating scale is. Oh yeah, Rockanishu. I forgot about you, buddy. Oh, not preserved head. Semi armoire. Got a level. We will go life and damage. We'll just throw one in here and then do skeletons for the rest. Oh, nice. Depends kind of thing. Those that like that genre, but I think it's a one and done. Do you think that there's a person that would be like a one in like more than once? Do you think that it has enough replay ability? Maybe a 6 out of 10. Fair enough. And then from your time with it, where is the replayability value of it? Is it like seeing what different things you can do, or there doesn't seem to be variability in builds? It's very a very simple progression. Maybe a completionist. Yeah, I guess so. Does it need multiple playthroughs? Is there like ending, or could you save and like save scum it and get the same? Trust no one, Ryan. Gotcha. Okay. Does that change enough of the game in a substantial way? Like the plot ones, like trusting no one. Um, I'm thinking of something like Fallout New Vegas, where you can go like side with House or side with Caesar. What the California Republic, that type of thing. if you do different. Yeah. Or even just the like the plot. It doesn't seem like it changes the plot a huge amount, but I don't think that I have enough of a grasp of it to make an informed decision about that. Like, I know you're much farther into it, so because some people don't play a game for the gameplay. It's just like the plot, or even just like the character interactions. Like games like Baldur's Gate 3, people can replay to see like how a character reacts to, you know, X, Y, and Z or whatever. So far, to me, no matter what you do, it will always send you to interchange. Yeah, definitely seems to be one noting me to just continually go that way. Unlike like things, because like Fallout New Vegas, I think does the same thing, but like the character factions are so different that, and they have different motives, so they end up doing different things for the Mojave or whatever. Um, that's the closest thing I can think of when I'm trying to make that kind of distinction. Illusion of choice is the term. Yeah, yeah, where it seems like you've got all this options and choices and things you can do. It's like when you have a dialogue option and you've got like four choices that are different variations, but they all ultimately lead into the same response. It's just the way that the voice acting is done to make it seem like it fits into every um, like your specific one, until you go back and you pick a different choice and it says the same thing. Yeah. And I don't think that illusion of choice is like necessarily a bad thing. Like magic tricks ultimately are not as interesting once you know how they work. It's like the prestige, you know, the fun part where you're momentarily forget, you know, about physics and magic may be real. That's kind of the thing. Once I figured it out, I just started cleansing the game, but I enjoyed exploring. Yeah, I think that's my favorite part of it too. Is just exploring the world, finding the little notes, kind of figuring out the puzzle, and then once the magic is gone, it's gone. I might check it out. Like I said, right now with yours, I'm kind of on Resident Evil Zero, but the problem have most of the time with playthroughs is I'll watch it like, kind of more or less actively, like I'm second monitoring it maybe, and then at some point, when I have to go to bed, I'll just throw it up, and I want to continue more or less from the part that I actively was paying attention. But YouTube doesn't track that, so I kind of have to trawl back through and figure out where I was at. And right now I'm doing that. And honestly, I'll probably just watch the other ones too. When the mood takes me, as I'll just move through those. Where are the chipped gems? I want the chips. I wonder if I just like switch to the barbarian and go back through normal and start whirlwinding through everything. I wonder where the best density of stuff would be. Probably in the cow. You think there would be that much chip gems in the cow level? Let's go get Werty's leg. Where is the stones? Where are the infinity stones? Most of Adamfall is skippable, just looking for moments, but I do enjoy the axe throwing. Yeah, honestly, some games have that one mechanic that is just done so well. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Did you ever get that one achievement that's like kill enemies without reloading the revolver or something like that? Yeah, I got that one. Was it difficult? The not secret achievements. Got close to them. Took your time. Got close to them and took your time. Good to know. Oh, here we go. Now this is some cows. Now this is a farm. Got that 5 kill people with an explosion by accident. Happy accident. Not for them, Shadow. Not for them. I don't think that they're happy about dying as a group in an explosion. There's one chipped gem. A blood smoothie milkshake. They should be happy. They got turned into a blood smoothie / milkshake. What a way to go. Well, it might be Countess time. Antlers. It's a one socket. It sucks. Wonder what the difference is between playing Terror Zones on Players 8 versus going and doing the Uber Diablo on Players 1. Like the Diablo clone. I wonder exactly how my power would match up to Uber Diablo on Players 1. Ugh. Oh my gosh, I just thought of a really bad pun. Are you familiar with Bullet for My Valentine? You should try it. If I had a Stone of Jordan, I would go try it. But I think that Diablo clone is doable. I don't know how I feel about the mechanics of the other Ubers. Plus, what I want from them isn't as easily attainable. Yeah, but my tears don't fall. They crash around me. That's a dumb joke. Yeah, but what level were you with your Necro? Aren't you like 60s or 70s or something like that? Maybe 80s? I can't recall. Because that's a good chunk of difference as far as power level. What, 20 levels? 80 at with Lawbringer. That's still, I mean, that's a significant difference. For one, the way that hit chance is calculated is Diablo was probably like some 20. I think he's like 100 and some his level, so you're gonna have a huge disadvantage to even hit him. So that may be it. But then I know you were talking about having to gear up for hell, so I'm decked to the nines with this. I think really the only thing that I would need is a way to, is a way to apply life tap, because I think that all of them are immune to life steal.
What you doing now, Bob?
Just putting in the work here.
Are you close to the next level?
No, not really. I mean, sort.
It looks close.
Yeah, but that's
from the untrained eye.
That's probably.
But that'll take a month.
No, that probably is like 2 to 3 hours of dedicated.
Nothing but.
Yeah, like good zones, good stuff like that. Well, what is the... Okay. Oh, yuck. Do not want to go there. Well, I think I might end the stream. I'm wasn't gonna go for too long today. Just had to get back in the grind from last week when I was out. Not too much we can do. I'm running out of chip gems. I need to get some more of those so I can start cubing up. If I get basically anything from Pull onwards, I can cube everything up. I need a Mal, a Low, and I think something else down here. Yeah, it's a bad night for Terror Zones, to be honest. And honestly, I'm just not feeling it. I kind of want to go play Baldur's Gate 3. There's a new patch, and kind of just want to eat and play games until I just pass out. Like the stream, fools. Yeah, thank you, Shadow. Make sure you like the stream if you're enjoying it, so that it continues to pitch that out to other people. Gives them different impressions. Thank you, everybody, and have a good night.